Hey y'all, welcome back to Scripture with Shila. Tonight we are reading Genesis 6 and doing like a Bible study on it, so be sure to take notes and listen along. Genesis 6, increasing corruption on earth. When man began to multiply on the face of the land and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of man were attractive, and they took as their wives any they chose. Then the Lord said, My spirit shall not abide in man forever, for he is flesh. His days shall be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came in to the daughters of man, and they bore children to them. These were the mighty men who were of old, the men of renown. The Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intention of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And the Lord regretted that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him to his heart. So the Lord said, I will blot out man, whom I have created from the face of the land, man and animals and creeping things and birds of the heavens, for I am sorry that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. Noah and the flood. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless in his generation. Noah walked with God, and Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and the earth was filled with violence. And God saw the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on earth. And God said to Noah, I have determined to make an end of all flesh, for the earth is filled with violence through them. Behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark, and cover it inside and out with pitch. This is how you are to make it. The length of the ark, 300 cubits. Its breadth, 50 cubits, and its height, 30 cubits. Make a roof for the ark, and finish it to a cubit above, and set the door of the ark in its side. Make it with lower, second, and third decks. For behold, I will bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, in which is the breath of life under heaven. Everything that is on the earth shall die. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall come into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. And of every living thing of all flesh, you shall bring 2 of every sort into the ark to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female. Of the birds according to their kinds, and of the animals according to their kinds. Of every creeping thing of the ground, according to its kind. 2 of every sort shall come in to you to keep them alive. Also take with you every sort of food that is eaten, and store it up. It shall serve as food for you and for them. Noah did this. He did all that God commanded him. Okay, I'm going to share some of the stuff I read in my Women's Study Bible about this chapter, trying to figure out what it means by the sons of God. Some people believe that this was fallen angels that came down and had relations with the women on earth. Other people believe that it was the men from Seth's lineage, like his descendants, marrying or having relations with the ungodly women of Cain's descendants. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. I say this wrong, but the Nephilim, they didn't say too much about that. I've heard multiple different things around it. In Numbers 13 it talks about it, but they are described as like a group in Canaan, but they were like mighty men, warriors. So again, probably need to do a deeper dive on that. Noah's called blameless, which I always thought of sinless. Noah being blameless means that he was without fault in God's eyes, not without sin in God's eyes. So maybe it's that he just repented for everything, constantly tried to do better, right? But it was that he was without fault, not without sin. So that was big for me because I've always thought of it another way. And he walked with God, which he just had like close relationship, same as we saw in Genesis 5. Enoch also walked. It always quotes it like walked with God. And he ended up not even dying because of his walk with the Lord. But Noah walked with God, which just meant that he was in close relationship with the Lord. And then another thing that I've never processed that I'm going to probably dig into a little more is it talks about how there are different viewpoints when it comes to the flood, and if it covered the whole earth, meaning like what we know as the earth, or if it was the whole region. Because back in that time, before the Tower of Babel, or up to the Tower of Babel, everyone kind of congregated to one area. So God wouldn't have needed to flood the entire earth because they weren't spread out yet. It mentions it as like the whole earth or all the earth. And because I said back then, really he would have just had to have taken out a region, not the whole earth, because it even mentions the same verbiage later in Genesis 41. It says all the earth came to Joseph to buy grain. And all the earth clearly was just referring back then to like the eastern Mediterranean seaboard. It wasn't the whole world, the whole earth. So the argument there is, did he genuinely flood the whole earth, or was it just a region or an area? People that argue it was the whole earth, they're quoting where it says all the high mountains under the whole heaven were covered in Genesis 7:19, and that the water was 15 cubits above the tops of the mountains. So I'm curious, which way are you leaning on that? But it's just always nice to see what other people, what discernment they get from the Bible. And yeah, so I'm just curious, what y'all get from our Genesis 6 tonight? Go ahead and leave it in the comments. And y'all have a blessed